It's 2001 in Jacksonville, Florida. The FBI is on the trail of a criminal network. 25 agents are deployed, 20,000 telephones are being monitored. A year earlier, an anonymous tip reached the FBI. The McDonald's Monopoly sweepstakes was going to be rigged. The investigators have no idea yet how big this case really is. A mysterious figure named Uncle Jerry has been stealing game pieces worth a total of $24 million for more than a decade and selling them through his nationwide network. Mobsters, strip club owners, drug dealers, and a Mormon family, they're all involved in an unbelievable fraud.
This is one of the original McDonald's drink cups, but I think we can assume that it wasn't a real winner because I don't think anyone genuinely won $1 million prize.
Jeffrey Maish has researched the story behind the McDonald's Monopoly scam. It was published in the Daily Beast in 2018. Maish shortly afterwards sold the film rights to 20th Century Fox for $1 million. There is also an HBO docuseries based on the article, McMillions. In 1987, the big McDonald's Monopoly sweepstakes launches in the US and many other countries. Millions of McDonald's customers suddenly get the chance to win big cash, luxury homes, and expensive cars. You probably know it, but briefly for context, the game pieces are part of the orders. There are smaller and larger instant win prizes that you can redeem right away. But you can also, like in real Monopoly, collect streets or buildings and then redeem them for prizes. All you have to do is buy a lot at Mickey D's. The campaign is a spectacular success. The company Simon Marketing is responsible for producing the stickers for North America. Former policeman Jerry Jacobson has been Simon Marketing's director of security since 1988. He oversees the entire sticker production for McDonald's.
He was very strict with the staff. He was always writing people up if they made mistakes. He would search people on the way out. He'd even search their shoes to make sure that there was no theft going on.
He personally delivers the grand prize envelopes to the McDonald's packaging plants in sealed packs. The temptation is huge, and it grows even bigger when he accidentally gets hold of a pack of genuine seals for the prize envelopes. At some point, he steals a $25,000 prize and gives it to his stepbrother. He sells a $10,000 prize to his butcher for $2,000. That was pretty easy, but what about the $1 million prizes? On his trips, he's always accompanied by an outside security agent. In 1995, at an airport, he seizes his chance. He disappears into an airport restroom and swaps a $1 million prize for an ordinary piece. He reseals the $1 million envelope. It actually works. In 1995, Jacobson meets 32-year-old Gennaro Colombo at the Atlanta airport. The Colombos are a notorious family of the U.S. branch of the Cosa Nostra, that's the Sicilian Mafia. Colombo makes his money from nightclubs, underground casinos, and sports betting. Jacobson sells him a grand prize. Shortly afterward, Colombo even appears in a McDonald's commercial.
Jerry Colombo won a Dodge Viper, and there are two $1 million prizes left.
Jacobson sees in Colombo a well-connected business partner.
No.
Colombo's role in the scheme was to find winners. So Colombo became what the FBI later called a super recruiter.
Jacobson supplies Colombo with major prizes. Colombo distributes them to his criminal friends across the country, with no trace back to Jacobson. Colombo's wife's father and a friend of his wife also each receive a grand prize. Jacobson also sends his stepbrother out to find winners. He sells his nephew a $200,000 piece. He anonymously sends another $1 million prize to a children's hospital in Tennessee. Although McDonald's prizes are technically non-transferable, McDonald's allows this charitable donation.
At McDonald's.
In 1998, Gennaro dies in a car accident.
There, overnight, one of Uncle Jerry's biggest super recruiters dies. And it's kind of the beginning of the end for Uncle Jerry, because for the longest time, Colombo was a really safe super recruiter who was all zipped up in his business affairs. And I think from that moment on, Uncle Jerry was looking for kind of more dodgy recruiters.
On a cruise, Jacobson meets businessman Don Hart. He introduces him to two friends, fast food restaurant owner Richard Couturier and former cocaine smuggler Andrew Glom. From then on, they help Jacobson find winners. Between 1995 and 2001, Jacobson and his network won virtually every grand prize. When buying a new property,
Once he'd started making all this money, I think Uncle Jerry turned into rich Uncle Pennybags, you know, the Monopoly icon. He started buying new houses. He bought this fancy home in Georgia. He bought a really handsome Oldsmobile vehicle, some vintage cars.
he meets Dwight Baker. He belongs to the Mormon Church and enjoys high standing in his community. Jacobson sells a $1 million prize to Baker's foster son, Chandler. Another $1 million prize goes to one of Baker's friends, Hughie. A $500,000 prize goes to his wife's sister, Fennis. She and Hughie falsify their addresses and redeem their prizes in different U.S. states. Jerry Jacobson, aka Uncle Jerry, has no idea the FBI is right on his heels. A year earlier, the Bureau received an anonymous tip from whom remains unclear to this day. Since then, the phones of suspected McDonald's Monopoly winners have been wiretapped. Based on the calls, the FBI can pinpoint the real residences of the last three big winners. Chandler, Fennis, and Hughie live less than 25 miles apart, but the FBI still doesn't know enough to take down the whole network. The then McDonald's CEO, Jack Greenberg, cooperates with the FBI. He makes a tough decision. The Monopoly sweepstakes will run again, even though it's obviously rigged. There are two grand prizes of $1 million each. Hughie reveals on a call that he wants to sell a ticket to his man in Texas. The FBI checks his list of recent calls. Only one went to Texas, to John Davis, his brother-in-law. And sure enough, Davis tries a few days later to redeem one of the $1 million prizes. The other $1 million winner is also part of the network. He was handpicked by Andrew Glom, the smuggler. On August 22, 2001, 8 arrests are made. After a year lying in wait, the FBI strikes. Jacobson's network unravels completely over the following days. Over more than 10 years, he stole 60 prizes worth over $24 million. More than 50 people are convicted. Uncle Jerry serves over 3 years in prison and must pay $12.5 million in restitution. We still remember well the feeling of ripping the pieces off the cardboard boxes and cups as kids. The dream of a big win amid saturated fats. Somehow, it's surreal to think that in the US nobody could actually win. The odds were insane anyway, but the idea that the grand prizes were rigged for decades, absurd. And yet, that's exactly what happened.
I think the reason that it resonated with so many people is that we'd all played the game. Everyone in America had bought a hamburger hoping to win millions, so everyone was invested in the story. And when we found out that it was the mafia were involved, I think it just gave that story an added push and made it go viral.
Cheers.